Welcome to the Great American Collectibles Show, heard Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern on PSA.com and the PSA Facebook page. The Great American Collectibles Show is brought to you by PSA and the National Sports Collectors Convention. Tonight's headlines are brought to you by Sports Collectors Daily. For all of your hobby news, features, and more, visit sportscollectorsdaily.com. And now, your hosts, Tom Zappala and Rico Petrocelli.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Who's that? Who does that intro?
Is
that Dave's
no,
wife?
this little chickie here on the right.
That's Chrissy.
No.
Chrissy, you don't do that? Who did that?
You've had that a long time before.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Joyce Davis. I get
she's
confused.
forgetting
Hi,
already.
listen. Welcome to the Great American Collectibles Show.
Thank you.
Tom Zapp. Ahead, along with my paisan, Hall of Famer, Rico Petrocelli, Red Sox Hall of Famer. I forgot his name. I was going to say Louis Tion.
Man, old ball players, what do they say?
They fade away.
They fade away. I'm fading
But listen,
too.
our headline.
Yeah.
Brought to us each week by our good friends at Sports Collectors Daily, Rich Miller. Yeah. The headline for this week is that Petrocelli came in here, smoked a cigar,
That just,
and did not burn a hole in his shirt.
You're right.
Really?
I got three pair of shorts.
I know.
All holes in them.
You look like a Swiss cheese.
I don't know.
No, actually, we don't have a headline today. Quite honestly, I forgot it, but tough luck. All right, listen, we have a great show. Let's bring him in right now. Our good friend, a really good friend, guy that we've known since we started writing books, Danny Wulkan from Memory Lane Auctions. Daniel, how are you?
Hello. Good to see you guys.
And they have a blockbuster auction coming up. We're going to talk to Dan in a few minutes. We're not just going to talk about the auction. We're going to talk about the hobby. I love talking to him about the hobby. And you, because you guys, you get into some good discussions. And I watch.
Listen, I didn't go to memorabilia school for nothing at Harvard.
In the second half, the last segment of the show, I'm really excited. We're bringing in a new sponsor. And Danny, we're going to talk about this with you guys. His name is John DeMarais. John is the owner of what's called Prime Time, and John and his staff have started what is going to be, and I think what already is, the largest card show in New England, the New England Card Show, which is going to take place in October, and there's a fall and a winter at the Mass Mutual Center at the Basketball Hall of Fame and at the Basketball Hall of Fame exhibit hall. It's going to be the biggest. It's going to be 400 or 500 tables, then auction houses, third grading parties, an autograph pavilion.
Springfield, Mass.
Springfield, Mass.
And that's a great area because not only is
of the casino.
Yeah, that and Hartford, Connecticut's right there. It's a lot of people.
Now, Danny,
a lot of collectors.
Off the record.
He had the first one in June, and it was wildly successful. It started off at about 300. It was a one-day event. 1 day, 350 tables, and the word to the auction houses got out a little late. Kenny Golden was the only auction house there, and he cleaned up.
Sure.
So all I'm saying is Thomas Sulo lives in Connecticut. Get him in a car and get him over there, right?
We live in California. I'll go there.
There you go. Seriously, it's going to be a huge event.
I'll make an appearance.
And John's going to be – so watch the show when it airs because John's going to be he's going to tell us all about it. All right, so we got that. We got Danny. What else? Anything else going on?
Well,
Red Sox suck. The Red Sox still suck.
Well,
Yankees suck too, by the way.
Well, they
settle down.
Sorry.
No, the Yankees were in a slump, really. And remember, see, you don't remember.
I called it.
No, you lying son. He's a lie. I called it. I said, remember the beginning of the season, they were going crazy. I said, you know what?
They're not set up for a short season.
No, what happens is when you go crazy, you hit, you go, the opposite's going to happen.
Danny, let me tell you something. Your team is going nowhere. Now, hear me out. Hear me out.
Judge hit a home run.
I don't
so
care.
They're back.
Listen to me. The reason being is if you look at the amount of home runs that Judge, Stanton, and those guys have all hit, most of them are against sub-500 pitches. That team is not equipped, and I've said this for a couple of months now, not equipped for a short series against good pitching. Ain't going to happen. Los Angeles
back.
Dodgers.
If they're hot, they'll
are
beat
back.
anybody.
Okay, we'll see.
But anyway, the Red Sox
Suck.
really. Well, don't say that. I mean, see,
I'm
you a Red Sox fan.
No, but I'm irritated with your friend, John
they
Henry.
were going good.
No,
He was
your buddy.
great. What, your
buddy-
buddy. The Red Sox are great.
Listen.
What a front runner.
Your buddy, John Henry, he's concerned about the freaking soccer team. That's what he's concerned about. All right?
Well, they're making more money.
Oh, by the way,
No.
there's a rumor circulating that you have a gig at Fenway Park.
Well, there's a possibility, but it's not from the Red Sox. It's from a
Big money.
private team. But
Big.
No, I'm doing it for money. I'm doing
Yeah,
it for nothing.
Yeah, doing it for nothing. All right.
All right,
listen.
I'm ready.
Danny.
It's not
Before we do
come on,
this,
Dan.
I'm going to ask you because you're an auction expert and you know memorabilia.
And that says fragile. On the
Right. It
box.
says fragile on it.
Fragile, yeah.
Now,
Fragile.
Second
I
baseman,
got a
second
text.
baseman.
I got a text and a message from one of our viewers, and said, "I just stumbled upon this. You really need to purchase it." And I said, I looked at it and I said, "Absolutely." So I'm going to ask Mr. Petrocelli,
Yes.
and this is the provenance. This is the only, I think, I haven't seen any official. Don't even touch it. This is a Rico Petrocelli glass.
1976?
Yeah, right, 1976
Leave me alone.
by the Major League
not
Baseball
about me.
players and Papagenos.
Yeah.
This is gold.
Yeah, right.
This
Oh,
is
yeah.
gold.
Well, give it to me.
So no.
Rare.
So I am going to ask Mr. Petrocelli. This is going to go in my collection. I'm going to ask Rico right now
Dan, watch this.
to sign
There's
this.
Sharpie.
I knew it.
Where's,
I knew it.
where's the bucks here? You want me to sign?
I'll give you $1.
I'll take it.
Tom, you're making it drizzle. You need to make it rain.
All
Give
right.
him a lot more than $1.
Oh, my goodness.
You have to
You
sign.
want it on the other side or underneath?
Underneath.
All right.
It's his photo match.
It's a drum.
I have you as a witness and our two producers that this is the provenance right here.
And I get a witness.
All right. I forgot how to spell my name.
He's signing a T on again.
That's right. We'll put
And
number
don't
6.
personalize it because it won't be
No,
worth
I don't
as
want
much.
to personalize.
No.
God, no. Because I gotta flip
To
this.
Tom.
All right. Thank you, Rico. So this
A little
is
later on, you got to add more things like maybe a couple of stats because that'll add value. You
Yeah,
got to
right.
add like maybe a little note. Boston Red Sox best.
40 home runs.
That's extra. That's extra.
So that is going to go in a place. I have never seen one of those. Did you? Were there a lot of those out there?
The gas stations used to give them out. But
Really?
There's a lot of people that wouldn't take it. No thanks. They said no thanks. But
So,
I'm going to ask you.
Papagenos.
Papagenos now.
Did you get free pizza?
You kidding me?
Go ahead.
Let me ask you, because it seems to me lately, things that I've heard about the Ruth ball. I just want to talk to you about the Ruth ball. It seems like the Ruth ball, signed ball, is not going as high as it
good point.
used to. Is it true?
Ruth signed baseball?
Say a signed baseball, yeah.
No, absolutely not.
It's
Way
not.
again, way the opposite. Anything
right.
signed by Ruth these days is off the charts. You know, you could have a cut on a piece of paper. You know, they used to get those for $1,500 to $1,800. Now those are like well over $5,000.
Yeah.
Checks are hitting like $8,000 to $10,000. Baseballs, like even a barely, like we have a baseball now in the auction. It's got a personalization removal, but it says from Babe Ruth. You know, that's up to like $6,000, and that should be a $3,000 ball. Anything signed by Ruth has gone through the roof.
Yeah.
I mean, we have that PSA 10.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
I think it's because of the mantle cards, not just mantle, period, or, everything.
Well, Danny, I told Rico a couple of days ago, a mutual friend of ours, Kathy Hersey, that's her name.
Yep.
Kathy is an older woman, does our website design, and she did Rico's too. We got an email. Ellen got an email from Kathy, and she said, my husband and I were rummaging through my dad's, who's been long gone, boxes, some of his boxes. And she said, we found these at the bottom of one box. One of them was a 1932 Yankee team ball signed by
Oh
Babe
my
Ruth,
God.
and the Babe Ruth signature is actually beautiful. David, I meant to send it to you so you could post it, but it's too late. Actually, I'll send it to you. You can post it when 1932 Babe Ruth baseball with Lou Gehrig on one panel, and all the other signatures are pretty faded, but Ruth's is beautiful. And then a separate ball signed by just Lou Gehrig that says underneath it 1932 World Series. Now,
No way.
so we made a couple of phone calls. I called some of my dear friends in the auction business, and they told me what they thought it was worth after the images. And someone just offered her $26,000 for the two balls, which is nice.
And I will offer more so we can talk.
Really?
Not even kidding.
Well, you haven't
Not
even seen them, though.
If you say that, what do you think the grade is on the Gehrig?
Probably a 6 or a 7.
So it's about a 5. Okay. I would.
Yeah.
You know, that hurts me.
But
really
true.
5.5. We'll talk.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk.
I'll send it to you. All right, let's get to so signed
Well,
loot balls.
yeah.
You're saying are still strong.
Yeah, the one that we have up to bat right now, up to auction, it's at about 85 grand, and it's the autograph is a PSA 10. And I'll tell you what, I actually have. I'm going to show you. This is
Look at that signature.
cover.
Wow,
Look
nice.
at that signature, man.
I mean, and the provenance that it has is unbelievable. Unbelievable. The provenance, it's dating back to July 10th, 1947. That's about a year shy of when he passed.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, Ruth stuff is hot. Ruth, anything signed by Ruth is really hot. I mean, baseball's hot. That we're in the season, and collectibles are hot. So if they're hot, the number one collected autograph is going to be, and what most well known is Babe Ruth.
All right, so now I'm going to ask you a question. Before the show started, I told you that I have a bid in from another auction house, but they're good friends of yours, for the Babe Ruth, the book that Babe Ruth wrote, and it's signed by Babe Ruth. Now, I put a healthy bid in, and I'm hoping to win it. I'm gonna win that. I'm determined. I have a copy unsigned that I had picked up years ago of Pitching in the Pinch by Christy Mathewson.
Yeah.
My question is, you guys have one that is signed by Christy Mathewson. What any anticipation as to what you think that book will go for? Because I may take a shot at that, to be honest with you.
Ruth books, I'm going to go back to what you were saying about the Ruth book. 5 years ago, you can get that book for $4,000 to $5,000, about $4,000 to $5,000. Today, that book's going to go for probably $15,000 to $20,000. The Mathewson book, and any autograph of Mathewson's worth 10 grand. Anything, it could be a piece of paper,
Yeah.
So as far as the book's concerned, that's got to be, a $20,000 to $25,000 book plus.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I couldn't find this. Is the signature displayed on the website?
Yeah,
Oh, it
signature
is.
is definitely displayed on the website. The I gotta check. It is
What's it at right now? Do you know?
lot number 3, and I can check. Obviously make sure it's on the website, but I'm sure.
I looked quickly. I know it comes with the. I didn't see it, but that doesn't mean anything.
And 1912,
It's
110 years ago.
I know.
That's unbelievable.
See? I think you should put a bid in.
And talking about Babe Ruth, even look at our 1932 caramel card, the signed card, 1932 caramel, the one that's on the front cover again. This one right here.
Look at that sign.
Yeah, look at that.
That is up right now, and it's all, how many? We're nowhere near.
Oh, you got like in 15 days left or something, right?
Yeah, no, we got about 18 days left. It's 183,000 plus premium. A baseball card, it's not in the greatest of shape, signed by him as the only caramel card that's signed in the entire existence of caramel cards, let alone it's Babe Ruth. It's about $220,000.
I noticed that card, and Babe's got a little weight on there. We had a few
Pretzels.
hot dogs.
Hot dogs.
Hot dogs and a little bit.
That's what it was.
No, it's just.
Yeah.
Hey, Danny, I want to ask you, because I know this is close to his heart, my partner's heart.
Sure.
You guys have and by the way, he was at the game, the first World
1903.
Series 1903 World Series program between Pittsburgh and the Red Sox. It wasn't the Red Sox. It was the Americans, I believe, wasn't it?
Right, but you're saying that Rico's 119 years old? He was at that.
No, I'm saying Rico's older because he was in college when he attended that. Right?
Yes, I do admit it. All right, so
That's right. You look great for one night, for 126. You look great.
But anyway, that one has really piqued my interest, along with you also have a 1915 and 1916 program. One of them is scored. One of them scored, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I think the one that Ruth pitched in is scored. What kind of money are we talking there? I mean, do I have a shot at one of the cheaper ones like these?
You got a shot at the title. You got it. I mean, with Rico's money, you got that shot.
Man, help me out.
You got
take care.
shot.
Don't worry about it.
Do me a favor. This gig that you're
Charge
doing.
interest, though.
I'll tell you what. This
30%
gig
interest.
that you're doing for the corporate thing. I know they pay you huge money.
Yeah, all right,
Why don't you throw a little my way?
Yeah, I know it. He's buying all kinds of memorabilia. See, money goes to money. This guy,
Right.
but he knows. I'm very happy to help him out in any way I can.
Really?
Yeah.
Can I have the ball? The
So
40th home run ball?
No.
You just said you would help me out.
Not with that. We got the Mathewson, right?
We talked about that.
Yeah, call shot.
That one.
That's the one we really.
Oh,
What's
yes.
the call shot?
Danny, you don't
cartoon
have a picture of that, do you?
of the Babe?
Only, I wish I pulled it out of the vault, but I'm going to show you.
This
that
is so
piece-
cool.
That piece is unbelievable. It's the only photo of him with a called shot, signed.
Okay,
Like
so
that.
it's a cartoon
Yeah.
of him calling the shot, and that's the only image in existence that he signed of the called shot, correct?
Correct. And that should be a $100,000 piece. Right now, I think it's at about $35,000 with premium. But I'll tell you, that is a stunning image. It just, Ruth signs off that he did it, which is still controversial,
Did you see a couple of years ago? Maybe it was I don't know how long ago, but there was somebody that was father was there, and he took
the photo.
Super 8. No, he took what do you call it?
Video.
But that's controversial.
Well, but it's interesting. What if what would that piece be worth?
Oh God, the original?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
God,
I mean, it's pretty clear. It was nice.
All right, listen, we're going to take a break. We are chatting with Danny Welcome from Memory Lane Auctions. He is part of the royalty with J.P. Cohen, the two of them.
Yeah, I know.
And then Joe Tomasulo, who's on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Joe is Joe. You know what I mean?
Right.
We love Joe.
He's a good
Great.
Joe.
Joe is Joe. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We come back. We're going to talk a little more about the auction. Then we're going to get into some other stuff, Danny. We like getting into stuff with you.
Love stuff.
All right,
Love stuff.
hang in. We'll be right back.
Since 1996, Brian Drent and the staff at Denver's Mile High Card Company have led the charge in the collectibles hobby. Mile High is a full-service dealer specializing in buying and selling cards and offers a competitive consignment program for all collectors. Whether it be their computerized want list service, appraisals, or auction services, Mile High has it all. If you've been searching for a company with a selection of high-grade vintage 1888 to 1970 baseball cards and memorabilia that shares your passion, aim high, Mile High. Go to milehighcardco.com or call 303-840-2784 for more information.
This is Brian Drent, president of Mile High Card Company. Is your sports card and memorabilia collection properly insured? For easily replaced personal property, homeowners insurance is all most people need. But for prized possessions that you may have spent a lifetime collecting, it doesn't go nearly far enough. Collectables Insurance Services has been insuring for over 50 years. They offer a full range of protection and a $0 deductible at an affordable rate with no appraisals required. I know because they insure my collection. If you have a minute, go to collectinsure.com and learn more about insuring your personal card or memorabilia collection.
Hi, this is Dan from Memory Lane Auctions, here to remind you that the renowned Memory Lane Collectibles Company has served as a beacon of light to the collecting community for the past several decades. Indeed, folks, it has been our utmost privilege and pleasure to provide the most enthusiastic collectors with an abundance of the finest sports cards and memorabilia for America's most coveted sports personalities via our world-class auctions. Whether you choose either a private sale transaction or the auction route, Memory Lane cordially invites you to reach out to us to maximize the value of your prized possessions. Also, it is not just sales that we pride ourselves on being the best of the rest, because if you are seeking a particular keepsake for your esteemed gathering, we will be relentless in our quest to find that special piece to fulfill your collecting dreams. So no time to wait. Reach out to us today for the purposes of capitalizing on our unparalleled marketing capabilities. Simply pick up the phone and dial 877-606-5263. That's 877-606-LANE, or find us on the World Wide Web at www.memorylaneinc.com. Now is the time for your valued consignment to ultimately become another one of Memory Lane's record-setting prices.
How would you like to own the bat that was used by your favorite player when he hit that towering home run or game-winning base hit? Now look no further than JT Sports, specializing in the sale and authentication of professional game-used bats. As the official authenticators of professional model game-used bats for PSA DNA, JT Sports will guarantee the authenticity of any bat purchased from them. JT Sports also buys and sells game-worn uniforms, gloves, and baseball equipment. The unique quality of the collectible is what JT Sports is all about. Give them a call at 609-487-8003 or check them out at GameUseBats.com.
It's time for On Deck with Peter Petrocelli. Poppy, why do we always do that?
It is time for our segment called On Deck with Rico, brought to us by our good friend Brian Dwyer and the great staff at REA Auctions. Don't forget to get your bid in by going to robertedwardauctions.com. That's Robert Edward Auctions for extraordinary results and extraordinary service. All right, this is a good question. This question was submitted by Dr. James DiResta, who, by the way, wins himself an official Great American Collectibles T-shirt manufactured by the M. Petrocelli Company.
My son.
Well, how come I paid so much money for them then?
Well, we don't want to discriminate.
Okay. All right, so here's the question. This is a good question, kind of a cool question.
It's all right.
Rico,
yeah.
why has the art of bunting gone away, and were you a good bunter? So why has the art of bunting gone away, Rico?
Well, I was a very good bunter, and I'm not just saying that because we worked on it a lot. And here's why bunting, it's not the art has gone away, the use of the bunt. Earl Weaver, when he had the great teams, 3-run home run, he says, well, I'm not going to give up an out. He said, my team goes on, basically, we go on a 3-run home runs. That's what they were concerned about because they could hit them.
Sure.
So it started to catch on with other managers and the organization said, why give up an out for the bunt? Yeah, it's ridiculous. So now, 9th inning, a couple of men on, instead of bunting, 1 out, 2nd and 3rd, they hit away, and a lot of them hit into double play.
Let's just say more often
but they
than not.
wouldn't change. Now it's not. We don't want to bunt. Now it's not just the managers; it's the cyber guys who say that now. So they don't want bunting.
Saber.
What did I say?
Cyber,
Saber, Suber, whatever.
So I mean, Danny, what do you think about that?
Needs to come back. I think it's a great idea to push the runners ahead. It's the bunt is not exciting. The people that pay to go to these games want to see home runs, and it's the art of the game. They should bunt. They should bunt more often because strategically you're pushing the runner, over. You got 1 out, man on first and second, or let's say man on second, you bunt up to first, he goes over to third. Now you have a great chance of bringing him in.
Not only that, Rico, but what about, especially now, if a guy is a pull hitter, all right, lefty, pull hitter, Fenway Park,
Okay.
they put the shift on,
Right.
They got 400 guys on the right side of the infield, right?
Yeah.
I mean, don't you think if the guy cannot hit to left field consistently, working on a bunt and dropping a bunt up the third base line would be easier, wouldn't it?
Of course. Especially if you're more than one run behind. You know, if Martinez or Devers and the Red Sox Judge, you're not going to do it with them.
I mean, a guy like Jackie Bradley would have been ideal, bunting up the third base line.
Absolutely. So, if you're 2-3 runs behind, so you hit a home run, you're still behind.
Right.
No,
even extra innings, you're given a runner on second base.
I know.
With no outs.
Yeah,
I know.
No outs.
A lot of guys won't do it. They just swing away, and
it doesn't make sense.
It hurts. Yeah, I agree with you. But
all right, we're chatting with Danny. Danny, let's talk about some of the other items in the auction.
Yeah.
You got some Type 1 photos, man. You got some cool Type 1 photos.
Yeah, the photos are great, but let me tell you, first and foremost, that 52 tops near complete signed set.
Oh, I keep forgetting about that.
Off the charts. I mean, I think the Mantl's at about 30 some odd thousand. The Maze is at about in the high 20s. But anyways, there are a lot of Pop One signed 52 tops cards.
All individual lots, correct?
All individual lots. And as far as the next best would be the 53 tops set break. The PSA 8 Willie Mays is a really tough card. That has not come up to auction in a long, long time. So
very cool.
That's something that we also have a ton of unopened, including a 61-62 Fleer box that is estimated.
That's nice.
Yeah, I mean, 61-62 Fleer basketball. That's insane, and that could go for $400,000 to about $500,000.
For the real vintage guys, I know you have some T206s, but do you have it? Did I see a T206 McGee error card?
Actually, in the industry, it's pronounced Maggie.
No, it is not. I wrote listen to me.
You wrote the book.
I wrote the goddamn book, and Ellen and I researched the crap out of it, and everybody, it's McGee. That's the way Sherry pronounced it.
That's interesting because McGee to me would be with the GA.
Exactly, and that's why we used to say Maggie, but he pronounced it McGee. So you can.
It's interesting. Go ahead, Rico.
No, wait a minute. Is there any provenance? Is that worth any money? Me making that discovery?
I would give you a couple of bucks for that.
Thank you.
By the way, when I first started with Tom, I thought the 52s were the modern cards. You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
Yes.
The T206 and the Ruth, all of those were the vintage and 52. Remember we used to talk, the 52 cards. Now, of course, it's a little different now, but they're great cards.
You owned one?
I owned one, yeah. Gonna start on me. Mickey Mantle I had.
You also have some good, cool football cards.
Yeah.
Well, we have the Jim Brown collection. So that's pretty insane. A whole run between tons and tons of cards that are signed to, prints that are signed with the whole Cleveland Browns team. There's some really, really cool, football cards.
We talk about, we've gotten into this discussion with you, Dan, and with Rico and I and Mallory about basketball and football. The modern investors. I'd like to know, you got a lot of these millennial kids, which we've talked about it a zillion times, investing in, Peyton Manning and Tom Brady and pick somebody, Mac Jones,
Tom Brady, yeah.
How much do they actually know about Jimmy Brown?
Well, yeah, right. Nothing.
How much do they actually know about Sid Luckman? Right?
No, it's a good point. They don't, and that's why I had mentioned this in another show with you, that they don't read. The young guys don't read the history of the past and the history of baseball. It's too bad because there's some great, interesting stuff about those players. But
do you agree with that, Dan, or disagree relative to expanding your knowledge?
It's sad, but they don't care. They want the next best thing. That it's the mind. It's just in and out. They think of something and then it's in and out. They're on to the next best thing.
Well, interestingly enough, last week we read some statistics that I took from an article that Rich wrote in Sports Collectors Daily. $12 million spent on Tatis cards. $12 million.
Tatis, where? At the
over the last year and a half.
Oh, wow.
Question being is, how much of those, how much are those Tatis cards going to depreciate?
99% of them. I mean, people say, well, it's a 101. I love that when they, come to the table at these shows and say, yeah, it's a 101. But they're making 73,000 different one of one.
Manufactured rarities.
Manufactured money. I mean, they're printing money, and where's the rarity? They're rolling off the press. They all got to be 10s, and talk about collectability. Jim Brown rookie cards, you don't see them every single day. The population of 9s and 8s and 7s, compared to Luka Doncic that has, his base Prism rookie card, they're about over 20,000 PSA 10s. You can cut yourself with that card.
Exactly.
Well, the thing is, it's not the player, but it's the manufacturers.
Exactly.
Of course, they want to make money.
So they're creating they're creating this world of I don't even know what you call it, fantasy.
An illusion.
Fantasy, illusion.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, this is a one of one. It's a Rico Petrocelli Prism, him holding the bat backwards. Ridiculous.
Because with a zebra background or literally they have that.
What should a collector do? They say relatively new, not very new.
That's a great question.
What
buy
should they
rare and buy the best, and if you're if you take X amount, even if you have $100, you're going to find something. Start with a common, that has a low pop, or start with, instead of buying all these $5, $10, $20, $50 cards, save $1,000 and put that $1,000 into something that's really rare. You buy the best of the best, there's going to be a buyer later on.
The other thing a young collector could do is, take a step back and don't necessarily invest your money in the Mac Joneses of the world or the ultra-modern cards, but, take a step back to the 80s or the 70s. Guys that are retired, but they're not vintage guys. I'm saying, guys like Jim, I don't know, Jim Rice or Mike Schmidt or Robin Yount, or even
Nolan Ryan,
or even in basketball, Larry Bird, Julius Erving. Those Magic Johnson. Those cards, I would focus on those cards.
Right,
building up a portfolio, right?
As long as the population is normal. I mean, these kids can't afford the pop 1s, 2s, 3s.
Correct.
But if you have something that's under a pop 100, at least that a lot of those cards are absorbed for sets, so the singles aren't as, you can't find those as much. So, if it's up to a pop 100 for young kids to buy something, like you said, an Irving Johnson, a Magic, or
one of those,
Ryan,
right?
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah, I agree with you. But I don't want to see the modern stop.
But buy wisely, Rico.
Buy wisely, yeah, because these kids, again, I've said it for how many years we've been on, that the kids who are buying the kids with their parent maybe, going and wanting to get a Trout or a present-day player, who's good potential, because it's going to keep the industry going. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They'll be interested as these kids grow up.
But they have to be careful.
Yeah, I'm not saying
that. They're going to go bankrupt.
Well, I understand. I'm not saying, the guy, the kids or the parents' favorite player may not be, a Trout or
Otani.
Right. And those people, but it might be somebody else that's, a pretty good player or,
Hey, Danny.
But they're in the industry. You know what I mean? They're in the industry.
It's right, because I even talked to a couple kids at the show, that this one kid I'm kind of mentoring, and he is sharp. This kid, Adam, he's always going live on Instagram. And let me tell you, it'd be neat to have him on and to get a perspective as far as a kid at 12 years old. He's selling like $2,000-$3,000 cards. But what he's doing is he's selling a lot of the $50 cards, saving the money, and he's buying a big 1 of 23 Kobe Bryant signed card.
Unbelievable.
So sharp.
Smart.
I mean,
yeah.
sharp guys out there.
Unbelievable.
But
That's
Dan,
good.
you
That's good
know,
advice.
rumor has it that your collection, your personal collection, is worth about $100 million.
50 million.
Okay. All kidding aside, I know you've been a real, probably the best, greatest canceled check collector. But what are some of the other things in your personal collection? Can you share those with us?
Yeah, I mean, I love like some of the mob stuff. You know, like I recently had a book signed by Pablo Escobar, which is kind of interesting. With a lot of, it was a book that they made with a lot of political cartoons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, you know, I just recently picked up a check signed by Mark Twain, signed Samuel Clemens from 1865.
Cool.
You remember 1865, Tom.
I do.
He was there.
I had, Rico, I had to get him back for you.
Thank you.
It was the end of the Civil War.
That's right.
But stuff like that, you know, Muhammad Ali stuff, a lot of personal items that, you know, being friendly with Johnny Depp, I have a lot of photos that he inscribed, you know, more personal notes to me and stuff like that. And, you know, my inventory is my collection. I love all types, all walks of life, you know, from sports to non-sports. But as far as canceled checks, you know, I picked up a check signed by Carlo Gambino.
Cool.
You know, Gambino crime family. And, you know, when you don't think, when you wonder if things exist and then they pop up, you know, those pieces of memorabilia,
you know,
they really blow you away.
Just past Saturday, our dear friends of Ellen and I flew up from Florida. You know, they have in the Little Italy, the north end of Boston, as you know, is called Little Italy. And this past weekend was one of the big Italian festivals, the Feast of the Fishermen, the Madonna. So they all flew up, 10 couples, and they went to Regina's.
Oh, yeah.
And then from
very
Regina's, I gave them the mob tour. It was actually very funny. Yeah, here's where Jerry Angiulo's office was. Here's where Raymond Patriarca's office was. All the way
Tom
up the street.
Zappala's office
all the way
was,
up the
right
street.
behind
So it was
them.
there was some cool stuff. Did we lose Dan?
Yeah, of course.
I think we did. But anyway, it was very, very, very cool, Rico, because those were your old stomping grounds, right?
Well,
I'm saying you and Tony.
Yeah, we used to go to Regina's and all that and say hello to people. But, yeah, it's interesting because there are so many other cards, you know, other industries or whatever you want to call it. This you mentioned the Civil War, right? There's cards from that. And
You don't collect. I mean, let me tell you something. There's some great stuff, history stuff that, like what Dan was saying, and we're trying to get Dan back, but there was some really cool history stuff that I could see collecting. Like remember our friend Bobby Livingston from RR Auction?
Yeah, of course.
They always have stuff like
Lincoln.
Yeah, or what's his name?
Abraham Lincoln.
Isaac Newton signed stuff.
Isaac Newton,
I mean, crap like that.
And he has a few of his Fig Newtons there, wasn't he?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Rico, I wanted to ask you a question.
Certainly.
Some of your Red Sox
memorabilia?
No, some of your Red Sox teammates. Yeah. I mean, you know, everybody's getting up in age.
Yeah.
And I know one of them, Bill Lee, who's a dear friend of yours. Bill, at 75 years old, was pitching for the Bananas. What is the name of that team?
Something like that.
The Bananas.
Savannah, I think. Yeah.
Savannah Bananas or something like that, and collapsed in the bullpen.
Yeah.
And actually, they lost him, and then they brought him back. And have you talked to him?
No, I haven't. He's still, you know, in the hospital resting. And, Bill has been so active. He's pitched, you know, he would go until he's 100. But
I mean, he's going to be in pretty
he's doing well. He's doing well. Yeah, he's always been in decent shape, but he's a big guy. He's heavy. He's, you know, I mean, he's 75 years old. You got to slow down some.
I know.
But you know, fortunately, he's okay. Brought him back, and I hope he slows down.
You know, we lost Dan. I think they must have had an earthquake in California. So let's take a quick break. We'll try to get Dan back. If not, we'll give the information on the auction. Hang in there. We'll be right back.
Pristine Auction is a family-owned and operated online auction specializing in autographed memorabilia, sports cards, coins, art, and collectibles. Since their founding in 2010, they've grown to 2 facilities in Phoenix, Arizona, totaling over 60,000 square feet. Jared Cavalier and an incredible staff of over 150 team members serve a very large customer base and enjoy every minute of it. By working with leading authentication companies, Pristine ensures all items are 100% authentic. In addition, third-party authenticators regularly travel to Pristine Auction to provide authentication services on site. Pristine Auction strives to operate its business in a way that's honoring to God, their families, and their customers. With a strong focus on speed, quality, and premier customer service, their mission is to be the leading online auction for every level of collector and fan. Pristine also works for Hope Sports and Identity Hoops International, traveling to Mexico to build houses for the less fortunate. Pristine Auction offers several online auction formats with thousands of auctions ending each day. For more information, go to pristineauction.com. That's Pristine Auction, the best in the business.
If you're a discerning collector interested in owning the most important pieces in the hobby, look no further than Leland's Auctions. The original sports auction and appraisal house, Leland's was established in 1985 by legendary Pioneer founder Joshua Leland Evans. And today, President Mike Hefner carries on the tradition. From the Tom Brady card and memorabilia collection to the famed Boston Garden Auction to high-end card auctions from every major sport, Leland's has always maintained the highest standards. Go to Lelands.com and get your bid in. That's Leland's, the hobby's leading sports auction house for 4 decades.
It's often been said that championships are won on the practice field, and world records come only to those willing to work harder than everybody else. Heritage Auctions is the world's largest collectibles auctioneer because we believe that becoming the best is only an invitation to the challenge of remaining the best. This requires the skills of the hobby's top experts, capable of identifying and maximizing value for our consigners. It requires the most visited website in the industry, courting a global audience of collectors over 1.5 million strong. It requires a dedicated press department that expands our global reach far beyond the entrenched hobby marketplace. It's hard work, but a simple premise. Present the finest collectibles to the largest population of potential buyers, and world records will come. We invite all listeners to put the unmatched power of Heritage Auctions to work for you. Auction evaluations are always free, and our commission-based fee structure ensures that our interests are always aligned. The highest possible price for your collectibles. There will always be new world records to chase, so let's chase them together. Visit our website at ha.com and request your no-obligation review today.
Hi, this is Dan from Memory Lane Auctions, here to remind you that the renowned Memory Lane Collectibles Company has served as a beacon of light to the collecting community for the past several decades. Indeed, folks, it has been our utmost privilege and pleasure to provide the most enthusiastic collectors with an abundance of the finest sports cards and memorabilia for America's most coveted sports personalities via our world-class auctions. Whether you choose either a private sale transaction or the auction route, Memory Lane cordially invites you to reach out to us to maximize the value of your prized possessions. Also, it is not just sales that we pride ourselves on being the best of the rest, because if you are seeking a particular keepsake for your esteemed gathering, we will be relentless in our quest to find that special piece to fulfill your collecting dreams. So no time to wait. Reach out to us today for the purposes of capitalizing on our unparalleled marketing capabilities. Simply pick up the phone and dial 877-606-5263. That's 877-606-LANE, or find us on the World Wide Web at www.memorylaneinc.com. Now is the time for your valued consignment to ultimately become another one of Memory Lane's record-setting prices.
With so many fakes out there, it's hard to figure out if the sneakers you want are real. But when you buy eligible sneakers on eBay, you can be confident they're genuine because every pair goes through a meticulous authentication process. Introducing eBay Authenticity Guarantee. First, the sneakers you've purchased are inspected by a team of professional authenticators who carefully examine the shoes, including color, pattern, logos, and materials. Then they're measured and compared to the eBay listing to make sure they match. Even the laces, accessories, and box are checked. Once your sneakers are verified, they receive an authenticity tag, and every tag is NFC enabled so you can see the detailed specs. eBay Authenticity Guarantee. No fakes, no fraud, no doubt.
Folks, eBay is the place to go for all of your cards, or memorabilia, sports or non-sports cards, autographs, and much more. Whether it's a gift for that special someone or you want to just add to your collection, eBay's huge marketplace should be your first stop. And if you sell
Christmas,
now's the time to flip your cards and get some extra cash.
Christmas presents.
Yeah, I shop on eBay all the time. That's plus everything besides cards and all that.
Fishing
gear,
stuff,
all kinds of stuff. Sneakers, connecting
you
buyers
have never
and
bought.
sellers.
You are so. You have never bought a pair of sneakers on eBay.
That's
you have
not
never.
true. That is not true.
You are so full of it. All right, listen.
Anyway.
We're gonna. This is a little switch up. We decided. Dan Wulkan from Memory Lane is with us. Danny boy, you're back with us. What happened, Dan?
Yeah.
What happened?
You know, it could have been an earthquake. I don't know.
All right.
We're back.
So we decided to keep Dan for the whole show, but we're also bringing in a new sponsor of the show. We're really excited because we were talking about you, John, prior to coming on about the New England Card Show. John DeMarais. John, is
DeMarais.
it DeMarais?
We're going to go with DeMarais.
DeMarais, okay. John DeMarais.
DeMarais.
More, M-O-R-E.
Yeah,
DeMarais.
Little Morris in there.
The president of Primetime and the man that has created the New England Card Show, which we are very excited about because it is, or it's soon to be, the biggest card show in New England. It's going to be very, very cool.
Yeah, as I mentioned, John, it's a great area. Springfield and Hartford. There's a ton of people there, and they're collectors, big baseball fans. So this is going to be great, I think.
Now, John, the reason I asked Dan to stay is because obviously we were talking to Dan. We did lose him, and they have a big auction coming up. Danny, your auction it's going to be pretty big, pretty damn big.
Yeah, it ends September 10th. It's got, and the autograph catalog part's got about 195 lots. Then the big catalog has over 2,000 lots. And just to stress more than anything, get your bids in early. And we're also accepting consignments for the winter auction. But, John, we'd love to join that list of people that are setting up at that show. Tom, I had a quick question for you. Did they sell fish there? You said the show, it's a cod show? Cod?
I like it.
Excuse me, that's not
Cod.
It's called a cod show.
Cod show.
It's a cod show.
Yeah. But John, that sounds like a really cool. We're dying to find new markets, and so that sounds like a really cool.
John, do us a favor. Take us through the big show is the weekend of October. Take us through every day and what it's all about.
I'll tell you what it's about. First of all, I appreciate the time, guys. The New England Card Show, our big event's coming October 1st and 2nd, which will be at the Mass Mutual Center in Springfield, Massachusetts. There'll be 300 plus tables with vendors from every state in New England, along with New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. We've been very fortunate to expand the show in the last calendar year. The show was kind of born off of a couple of different friends of mine that kind of got me involved with the right people and the right time. Did a little research and saw that Springfield would be a perfect market for it. So the day of events the show would start at 8 for peak sneak for the sneak previews and run until 5. And then on Sunday, we come back again. But the cool thing about our show is that we're aligned with the MGM Springfield Casino and the Hall of Fame, which we have a Hall of Fame night. It's called Primetime Saturday Night from the Hall of Fame. So the event runs during the day on Saturday. Then we all go to the Hall of Fame from 6 to 11. At 6 to 7, we'll be in the Hall of Fame Enshrinement Theater with live on their actual stage and being able to bring the top vloggers in the country coming on board. We're going to be having Santiago from Santiago Cards. Breakout Cards will be there, Murph Cards, and we're also going to have some other events as well on stage from 6 to 7, followed up by the largest trade night in the only Hall of Fame setting, Center Court Basketball Hall of Fame from 7 to 11, where we bring all our collectors and vendors together, have a good time, watch a little sports on the big screen TV, and trade some cards and enjoy the hobby. So it's been really expanding, and the event's getting bigger and bigger.
John, did I hear that there's a cash bar set up, or did I dream that?
No, there's not a dream. We have probably the nicest restaurant in the New England market, in the Springfield Hartford market. Max Catering is on house and will be there actually supplying bar service. So if you imagine being to the Hall of Fame and having access to center court, and you just came off a great day of trading at a show, at a cod show there, Rico.
Cod, yes.
A real cod show.
A lot of fish.
It's not breaded cod. It's a cod show. All right.
God, why me?
Good. I'm glad. Yeah.
So we're coming off of that, and basically the setting's unbelievable. We have actually 4 sponsored featured guests at the actual trade night that continues the event. We actually have on-site card vault will be there set up at the trade night, along with DCI will be there as well. And we have 2 preferred vendors that are sponsoring the event for us too. All That Sports out of Rhode Island, a huge collector with unbelievable product. And then we also have probably the hottest break guy in New England called Elite Breaks, breaking live at the show. So it's an event within an event.
And then on Sunday, winds up on Sunday.
On Sunday, it winds up on Sunday from 9 to 4, and soon to be announced some autographed guests. So hang tight for that.
Yeah.
As we lock that down.
And Danny, a little point of interest, Dan. John, is going to be a big help to John, and I don't want to say mentoring him because John doesn't need mentoring, but using his experience has given John and is going to be giving John some great advice is our good friend Joe Drellick.
Joe's amazing.
John contacted Joe. Joe was so gracious. He said, look, at whatever help he needs. And you're going to be going down to the Philly show, correct, John?
I'm going to have a pleasure of walking around with Joe a little bit on the Saturday show. So we've already lined up that event, and he's been coaching me. He's a tremendous human being. He's so nice, and he's just so friendly, and so he just gives me really good direction. He actually says what to do.
Rico and I were talking about this. You and I about what you said to me about you want to see this New England Card Show because it's going to be the biggest. And it's right in our backyard, man. It's right in our backyard.
This is
it. Tom, I'll tell you, I'll back what John was saying about center court at the Hall of Fame. That's insane. I have never, ever seen a promoter get people into a Hall of Fame. And JP and I were there when we saw Jordan get inducted, and that center court is sick. It's amazing. And to have that opportunity where they don't have to pay to get into a trade night that they can, right, John? It's just
the whole event is free. You basically 200 seat theater tickets will be handed out via raffle during the Saturday show.
Come up here, say hi.
So we're actually going to be raffling off 150 of the seats, free raffle, and we're going to be giving away. Panini has just reached out. I don't know, cast of thousands. They're starting to find New England cast. It must be Tom and Rico spreading the good luck.
We're trying to help. No, I got to bring him up here. You haven't met because John. He's a new sponsor. He doesn't have a mic, but our good friend.
I'll give him my thingies.
Well, let him say hi. Let him say hi. Come on. John. This is our other partner, our other co-host, John Mallory, JM.
The best. What's up, guys?
Just Danny.
Good to see you guys.
John,
I'm just here to watch 2 great professionals at work, Dave and Chrissy. So I just wanted to watch them and just learn. Just learn.
John, Rico and JM alternate. They alternate weeks. JM happened to be passing by. Actually, he was buying cigars downstairs, so he decided to come by. Thanks for stopping by.
I think I have a sponsor.
Welcome. Welcome. Good luck with the show.
Good.
Tom, get the team over to the show.
I know. Well, actually, what we're going to be doing is Rico and I are going to be there. I want to watch this. Rico and I are going to be there. You're going to be there for the week. Well,
I feel like I need to play the Benny Hill music while this is happening.
Yeah, you can do that. Rico and I are going to be there. I'm going to be there with Ellen on Saturday because we have some business up in Albany, and on the way back, we're going to stop in. And there's a rumor circulating, John, and I don't know if it's true or not, that one Rico Petrocelli is going to be there doing an autograph signing. Is there truth to that?
I'm thinking you're going to hear a pretty big announcement. I just don't want to trump the announcement, but we are launching a radio campaign as well on Monday on the Sports Hub 98.5.
Very cool.
Which will align with this event, and there'll be some major announcements going through. I was on the phone previous to you calling me there was a phone call coming through, and I would say the person's pretty well known in New England. So it's pretty cool having Rico Petrocelli's phone on my phone. But look, all the other guys' numbers I'm starting to pick up through contacts, and there'll be a major announcement that's going to be hopefully aligning the New England Card Show with another major event that everyone knows about in Boston, and we're coordinating that as we speak.
Very cool.
It's gonna be cool.
Hey, listen. One thing I want to say to Dan, and John and I have been speaking the last couple of weeks, and I think this is an opportunity because this show is really in its infancy stages, and it really is. But with some of the major auction houses that are starting to buy in, because a couple that we know of are going to be there, hopefully someone like Memory Lane, this is an opportunity for people to bring their consignments in to the auction houses. If you have some really cool stuff, these are the people to see, because the people that sponsor this show are the biggest and the best in the country. They really are. And I'm not just, and Danny knows that. Go ahead, Dan.
We are the only people to see with consignments. So anybody, we set up at the show.
I'm going to listen to me. I'm going to call Golden. I'm going to call Kenny Golden up and say, "Hey, here's what Dan said," and I'm also going to call up Derek Grady and say, "Hey, Derek, you're not going to believe what Dan said." So they'll all be there.
I welcome all of it.
Right, exactly. How about we got a few minutes left, guys? Yeah, we got a few minutes left. All right. So the event, John, is again
Saturday, October 1st and Sunday, October 2nd. It starts at 8 a.m. on both days for a sneak preview. Saturday runs till 5 and Sunday runs till 4. And everyone is welcome to come to primetime Saturday night. The event starts at 6 p.m. with a hobby talk live from the Enshrinement Theater, followed by doors open at 7 at Center Court to 11. Come in and experience the best trade night in the hobby, and you're able to catch the game on, probably in October, have a little college football on the big screen, along with all your best vendor friends and collectors.
The Sox may be in it by then.
Good luck.
I'm a Yankee fan, so I'll just run that right back. I saw my friend there with Daniel's shirt. I am a Yankee fan, true and true. I'm a football Giant fan, true and true.
My condolences.
And the only
Rangers.
crossover in Boston I have is a Celtics fan, because I grew up liking Larry Bird. So
wait a minute. We have a few minutes left.
Wait a minute.
He's got 3 other events, so let's talk about those. What are the dates of the other events?
For my whole calendar year, this coming year?
Yeah.
Well, just I've been approved for 4 shows next year already by Mass Mutual and the Hall of Fame. So we're going to have January 8th of 2023 kicks off the year with the first show of the year. And then followed by, we're calling our Winter Classic, March 11th and 12th. Then we have our Summer Bash on June 25th, followed by our second Fall National, a year from the October show, September 30th and October 1st. So we've already been lined up for 4 big shows next year at the New England Card Show.
Do you have a website where people can go?
Rico, thank you for asking. I'll buy you a nice codfish meal.
Cod, yeah.
For that free plug.
Give me a mantle cod.
Very simple. Very simple.
Go ahead.
NE for New England, necardshow.com. Get all your information. Get all your upcoming information, and we'll be releasing that autograph information on that website shortly once we lock everything down.
All right, we're just about out of time, guys.
I'll call you. John, I'll call you later.
John, Danny, I'm gonna bite the bullet. I'm gonna throw a bid in on the 1903 just for the hell of it. But I want the 15 and 16. I want the 1915 and 16. Just real quickly, we have 2 live reads, guys. I'm sorry we have to do it. Boom. JRI cards.
Okay, guys.
No, stick around. Stick
around. Yeah.
JRI. Go ahead.
This is a half hour.
Just read it. We're almost out of time.
All right, here we go. Gem cards. If you want to have an absolute blast at obtaining some great modern and vintage cards, you got to check out JR Cards. Our paisan Charlie the Ripper Perino, along with Money Marco and the JRI gang give you the chance to participate in opening an unopened and sealed fresh wax or cello pack of your favorite sport. Who knows? You may wind up with a Mantle, Williams, Trout, Brady.
Or even a Petrocelli.
Yeah, see, it's what he does. It's easy. You buy in, Charlie opens the pack, and you win. It's that simple. As a matter of fact, if you pull that special jewel, the guys at JR Cards will even have it graded for you. Featured in the LA Times, ESPN, and USA Radio, JRI is the hottest card-pulling show on the internet.
It really is.
Charlie and his staff make it fun, entertaining, and enjoyable. He really does. With his collection of hats,
he's out of control.
Sound effects, and yes, you may even hear him wearing a leather helmet.
Did you see
from
him
my
wear that?
days of playing with Newt Rockney? You'll love it.
He wore a leather helmet the last time.
And let's not forget that the JRI donates a part of their proceeds to various charities. What is this, a book? That's JRI Cards, the break show that everyone is talking about. They're always thinking of cardboard treasures. For a great hobby experience, go to JR Cards. I need a freaking...
I'll tell you, Charlie calls me up last night. He says, you got to do the read. I says, Charlie.
I like it, yeah.
All right, and lastly, our good friend Joe Drellick, East Coast Sports Marketing and Hunt Collections are pleased to present the Philadelphia Sports Collectors Show, the Philly Show, from Friday, September 23rd to Sunday, September 25th, held at their new location, the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center, Hall B, 100 Station Ave in Oaks, Pennsylvania. Yeah. Shop over 250 of your favorite hobby dealer booths on over 75,000 square feet of sports collectibles heaven from the 1800s to the present day. That's when you were born. Major sports auction houses and third-party grading and authentication companies are on hand to assist your collecting needs. And the Philly Show is free for all kids under the age of 12. Some of the autographs: Jimmy Rice, Ricky Henderson, John Smoltz,
Hall of Fame,
Brian Dawkins, and many, many more. For more information, go to thephillyshow.com. Remember, since 1975, the Philly Show is where it all started. Joe Drellick is the best, baby. He's the best. All right, guys, we're out of time.
Yeah, it was great having you guys
Danny,
on. Real
thanks
fun.
for coming on board. You know what you mean to us.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
Say hi to JP and Thomas Sewell. I talked to him like more than I talked to my wife. And I'll talk to you about that Ruth ball after, by the way.
The root ball?
Yeah, and
Ruth ball.
And John, good luck with your show. We'd love to join.
What the hell are you talking about?
I'm just teasing.
John,
you. He knows that.
Have a good one, John. New England Card Show, October 3rd. With that being said, we love you guys. Take care and happy collecting.
Yeah,
Take
care. Bye-bye.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.